What's up, everyone? Fancraft. That's right, it is Bo here, and we are back on Earth 4 as it loads all around me. Of course, last week we finished up the awesome pirate games, which was a huge blast, and big thanks to all the crafters for participating in this really fun, wild, wacky, and sometimes weird game. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Okay, can I make this? I guess flying is now allowed in the pirate zone. It was kind of off limits during the pirate games to make sure that we were keeping things fair and square. But regardless, we're back and ready to go. But there is so very much to talk about this week because we have got some new districts that we will be announcing and officially opening up today. And not to mention a new build that's actually coming to Marvel. Yes, I know, I said I was done with all the classic districts, but inspiration is bound to strike. It's just that's what inspiration does. And, you know, I've made mention that I wanted to originally kind of have this idea of the court here, the basketball court opening up and having a Blackbird underneath it. But I think it would actually be a lot cooler to have a Blackbird up there. The way I see it, we kind of need some more like air stuff going around in the skies above the districts. I mean, we could put some we could put an X-Wing maybe somewhere over here-ish, maybe something a little bit higher than this landing TIE fighter over here maybe at some point. But definitely, yeah, a Blackbird right here above the basketball court I think would be absolutely ideal. And so we're going to be doing that today as well. But you know what? Let's go ahead and announce the new districts because that just needs to happen. So, of course, we've got the Nintendo district that's been kind of sprawling and spreading out over here. So has been working on the Pokemon gym, as you can see, and I'm about to actually get the reins to take it over and, make a couple tweaks here and there, but mostly do the interior and kind of finish up the interior. So we'll be showcasing that once we get a little bit closer, but it's all about the new districts, baby. That's right. We've got coming in this area, ladies and gentlemen, the Hogwarts district or the Harry Potter district. I don't know exactly what we're going to call it, but maybe the Harry Potter district. But this is all an area that is being managed by night. And I'm probably going to come up once we start getting these shops in and everything and do a little terraforming in this back area. So it's not just like a pyramid going up a hill, but there is something very important up the hill. And that is the first build of the Harry Potter district. The Leaky Cauldron. Look at that sign. Look at that sign. Is that not incredible? I'm kind of blown away by it. Like, this is amazing. Now, this build is actually done by Dr. Alien, and he gave us a little tour of it when we were doing our big team stream. So if you haven't checked out everybody's channels, you absolutely should because he showed off some really cool features here. And, the interior's not done, but it's going to be amazing. So, I mean, goodness. In many respects, it already is. This is going to be really awesome. This will be kind of the first build that'll be kind of in part of our transition from the Nintendo district into what will be the Harry Potter district. And I think it's going to be awesome. Now I've got a couple of concepts for some shops for the Harry Potter district, which is good because much like several of the other districts, this is going to be a commerce district and we're going to be able to open shops. I've got an idea for a candle shop. I kind of want to do a wand shop. But I want to be very careful about this because they've talked about how they want an area to be Hogsmeade and an area to be Diagon Alley, and then the big team build is going to be Hogwarts. Oh my goodness, it's going to be amazing. Only problem is I'm not as deeply drenched into Harry Potter lore to know where certain shops should be. So I'm going to be very much relying upon Knight and the rest of the crafters to kind of tell me what to do and where to build because I don't want to do the wrong thing and mess up plans. But this is going to be great. Now, as I mentioned, it's not just one district we're announcing today. It's, in fact, another new district. This mountain right here. Okay, now it looks like it's sliced off, and that's because of, somebody who will remain nightless accidentally thought that we were originally thinking about putting the Harry Potter district up on the mountain, but nope, the Harry Potter district is over here, and so he had started doing some terraforming, but the mountain actually needs to be a mountain because that mountain is Mount Olympus. That's right. We are doing a Greek gods district, if you will. This will be very different because the idea is that the builds are going to be on the side of the mountain, kind of building up. And if we need more space, we'll continually build more space and terraform up until once we get all of the Greek gods situated. And at the very top, we'll do our big team build, which will be the Temple of Zeus. Now, the way that we're doing this is that all of the crafters have been assigned a Greek god. And this was done at random. Well, I say assigned. Technically, we each had the ability to choose, and we did a random drawing so that each person was able to choose which Greek god they wanted. So, for example, Knight chose Apollo. Doc chose Ares. We've got Fox has Hephaestus. We also have Kyle with Hades. I've got Dionysus, which I'm really excited for. Will got Poseidon. And we also have Sarcasm with Artemis. So we've got Athena, Demeter, Hera, Aphrodite, Hermes, and of course, Big Papa Zeus. Those will all be future builds, but these will kind of get us the deities that we need to get started. And ideally, whoever, when you finish one temple, if you want to take on another, then you can kind of, choose the next one based off of availability. So it should be really fun. Hopefully we'll just have temples all over the side of this mountain, and I'm hoping we'll be able to push up as well. Now you can see I've already started to kind of lay the groundwork for this area right here, which will be the Temple of Dionysus. I wanted to do it kind of lower, because I really wanted it to be like a vineyard and then just kind of like a wine cellar and all that kind of good stuff, and kind of connecting with the greenery around it, or at least kind of blending in with the greenery around it as we have vines and everything kind of growing up what will be some nice quartz pillars and that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited for it. A lot of people were surprised. They thought I'd go with Hermes for obvious reasons, but I actually very much wanted to do Dionysus. So that worked out really, really well. That'll be for the future. But for today, we are heading back to Marvel and getting to work on the Blackbird. Now, you know the Blackbird, right? Like it's da 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 da. Oh yeah, you know the Blackbird. It flies in the X-Men, opening theme song and everything. It's how they get around. It's been in all the movies, and I think that is absolutely what's needed, because as cool as having the court there, I almost feel like it's too subtle. Even if we were to put a Blackbird underneath it, I really want something that's more of a statement piece, and that I believe is the way to go. It's a tricky build. It's definitely a tricky build, but it's one that I'm really looking forward to, taking a crack at it. I know that Will has actually done a Blackbird before. I think he's done a couple of Blackbirds before and has graciously offered for me to copy his design. But I kind of like making my own designs. I like kind of figuring it out. And so I've been tweaking around with something, and we'll just kind of see how far we get. And let me get into this thing and then we'll talk about it. All right, so I'm armored up, but that's only because I don't have room in my inventory to put my armor on. I did it. I think it looks pretty good. Okay, from down here, it looks like an arrow that's pointing to the Fantastic Four building, so that's probably not the greatest. It benefits from a distance, and you don't have to just see it from on high to appreciate it, but I do. Let's see. Let's get down to the bottom. Yeah, look, that looks like the Blackbird. And again, we're going for kind of like the cartoon accurate Blackbird as opposed to like the movie accurate Blackbird, which has a bit of a blue hue. I had to make some decisions, and I decided to go full on deep slate, and I think that was the right call. Now, underneath it, if we go into the Blackbird, there's nothing here yet, but I am thinking we add an interior. I think we need the seats. I think we need like a little pilot seat as well. Something that kind of raises you up so you can look out the window would be really, really nice. But it is, admittedly, it's a tricky build. It is a very tricky build. I definitely have a greater appreciation for Will offering for me to copy his, because it's been a bit of a thing figuring it out. But yeah, oh man, I don't know. Like once you see it as a giant arrow, that's all you can see it as. That was not the case before, but it kind of is now. Like that's literally all I can see it as. Coming over here, yeah, that's nice. From the side, it looks nice. And honestly, even down below, I think if we go down here, more towards the bridge. Oops, I missed it. Right there. Yeah. Maybe it's the wings. Maybe the wings don't need to have the same level of thickness as the rest of the build. Okay, all right, so I think we need to do some tweaking. I think we need to kind of figure out if we can tweak those wings a little bit, and we're going to work on a bit of an interior, and we'll see how that changes things up. I think it's the wings. Like, I think it's the wings. If we can get the wings right, then I think that takes care of everything, but we'll see. All right, I think I did it, and whoops. Oh, hey, ta-da. Yeah, that looks right. Right? Okay, let's get in a little bit closer and take a look at some of the changes here. So right off the bat, you may already be able to notice I flattened the wings a little bit. They're not totally flat, but I've made them a lot slimmer as opposed to giving it the full size of the rest of the plane. And I also kind of bulked up the sides with the jets right here. And even though it's subtle, you have to be kind of like close in to see some of the details. I think that's fine. I think the general kind of roundedness does come through even on the ground floor. And then peeking in, you can kind of see, ta-da! Okay, we have an interior. It's not a very detailed interior, but we've got some suits. We've got a little, kind of not window. What do you call this thing? A little drop hanger type situation. We've got seating, and of course, we've got the pilot seat right here and ready to go. You can look out the window, which is nice. Oh yeah, this is looking right. I'm very pleased with how this turned out. Okay, this is good. I was getting worried there. I was definitely getting worried. Woo! But I think we did it. I really do. I think that is a blackbird singing in the dead of night. That's the wrong song. The right song would be da da da. Okay, all right. I should probably do something. From the base, I mean, does it still look like an arrow? Yes, of course it does. It's the shape of an arrow, okay? So yes, it's going to have some of that. But I do think with the details on the bottom, and I do think kind of the depth of the wings changing, it looks more like what it's actually supposed to look like as opposed to what it's not. So I am very pleased with how this turned out. Now, I don't think that's the end. I don't think that's the end of this build holistically. Like, under the whole goal here was that, you'd have the Blackbird underneath the basketball court, but I am starting to think, I don't know, like maybe we actually do need to put something underneath the basketball court, right? Like, we could still have the hangar bay and possibly even open this up, if you will. That'd be kind of like a little bit of a pain, but I think it can be done where we basically take the X, portion in one side of the court and maybe lower it down by one block and move it over to the side so that you could kind of fall right between here, or maybe even have like a little step ladder or something else like that going in. And then underneath is where we would kind of put things. Now, this is not permanent. I'm just kind of messing around with sizes here, but the idea is that you'd have like this big door with kind of like an X walkway, and then, kind of some stuff. What stuff, you ask? I don't know. Maybe like a little meeting table off to the side, or like a view screen kind of where they can get like a direct feed to the mansion. Maybe this would actually be some sort of, train system or monorail system that would take them between the city and the mansion. Where's the mansion, you ask? I don't know. Will's base? Oh, actually, it might be kind of cool to actually like do a little line to Will's base right here. That might be kind of fun. I don't know. We'd have to see if he'd be up for something like that. But I do think that is going to do it for us for today. This thing looks amazing. Oh, man. I am so pleased with how it turned out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What else would you like to see added to the various districts around us? I believe next time we are going to be heading to Mount Olympus to start working on the Temple of Dionysus. But until then, oh yeah, let's just enjoy that. Now. I can't. Oh man, it's too good. It's too good. Anyway, like I was saying, let me know what your thoughts are on this build in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. Until next time, goodbye.